Hi and welcome back to another Donna Gale vlog. Today I'm going to be sharing my 8 tips for feeling more confident and comfortable in front of the camera. With my own journey of getting to be a little more confident in front of the camera actually started back in 2014 when I started my small shop. And unfortunately, I had to model my own clothes, so I was kind of forced to get in front of the camera. And let me tell you, those pictures were bad. So kind of fast forwarding through that awkward phase, I actually met one of my friends through the Disney community. His name was John and he was a photographer. We started hanging out and he started photographing me for my small shop's shirts that I was trying to take pictures of, and he really helped me break out of the shell a little bit. To be fair though, me feeling more confident in front of John to begin with actually came out of the fact that there were adult beverages involved. Honestly, it was the only way to get me to be a little bit more loose and not so stiff in front of the camera. But fast forward again just a little bit until I met my current best friend now, Ashley. She was already a content creator, so she was already in her own little realm of feeling a little bit more confident in front of the camera than I was. So she was able to help me out a little bit more to getting in front of the camera and not being so awkward. So now through all of that experience, I'm here to share with you my best tips for feeling more confident in front of the camera. Number 1, and this is something that I have to remind myself too of sometimes, and it's wearing something that makes you feel beautiful or handsome in front of the camera. I cannot tell you how often I get in something that I'm not 100% about, or maybe I feel uncomfortable in the clothes, maybe they don't fit just right. It reflects in those pictures. Your facial expressions can only get you so far, and more often than not, if you don't feel beautiful, you don't feel handsome, you don't feel comfortable in what you're wearing, it's going to reflect on your face. Number 2 is looking up posing references. I know for me personally, first starting out, I was always kind of intimidated getting in front of the camera because I never knew what to do with my body. Especially my hands, like what are we supposed to do with these? So what I did is I looked up a lot of pictures on Pinterest. I also saved a lot of Instagram posts of other content creators and started to look at those for inspiration. Which kind of leads me to number 3. Do not try to pose. I know I said look up posing references, but that does not mean you should be copying those people to a T. The reason I say don't copy them is they develop their own posing style that works for them. And if you try to copy it, it might not work for you. So instead of trying to pose or trying to put yourself in a certain position that may not be comfortable for you and you may not feel comfortable even doing, use those references as a way to get to a certain point that makes you feel a little bit more comfortable, as opposed to just looking at a picture and be like, okay, I'm gonna do that, and then you do it, and then you just look like the most awkward fish out of water. So for sure, look up posing references to get an idea of what you wanna do, but do not try to get in front of the camera and do those poses because that might not be your style. Trust me, sooner or later, you will develop your own style. Number 4, and this is actually my favorite one, and it's playing music. Anytime I take a picture, almost guaranteed my phone is in my back pocket or any purse I'm holding, and the music is playing through that. The reason I play music, not only because it's super fun to do, is actually because it loosens you up. You carry a lot of tension in your shoulders, especially if you're not feeling super comfortable in front of the camera. So by playing music, it might get you to loosen up those shoulders, raise those eyebrows. Now we're looking happy, we're looking confident, we're looking comfortable. But also you can kind of invoke certain feelings of the picture you want to take with music. So for me personally, if I want something that's gonna make me super bubbly, I'm gonna be bouncing around, I'm gonna be smiling a lot, my go-to is Can't Stop the Feeling by Justin Timberlake. Now say you want something a little more moody, a little bit more dark, fierce, or just like sexy. My go-to song for that is Sorry Not Sorry by Demi Lovato. Honestly, that song works for everything with me. I could put that on and I could be bubbly or happy, I could be bouncing around, I could be moody, I could be a villain. Play music, it will get you to do what you want to do with your face and your body. Number 5, get your photographer involved. Touching on it just a little bit with John and Ashley as some of my first photographers, they really helped loosen me up in front of the camera because they were behind the camera being absolute goofs about it. If the person behind the camera is into it as much as you are, you're gonna be bubbly, you're gonna be happy, you're gonna be laughing, you're gonna get so many good and natural pictures because the person behind the camera is cheering you on, they're hyping you up, they're making you feel bubbly and all sorts of giddy. Even my boyfriend, who's pretty much my only photographer now, he always gets behind the camera and he's like, ooh, get it girl. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Ooh yeah, ooh, strike that pose. He's an absolute dork, but it gets me to loosen up. It gets me to start laughing, and the pictures that come out of it are just beautiful. Number 6, don't be afraid to dance. This kind of goes hand in hand with the music thing. If you're listening to that music and you just kind of feel like you want to start grooving around, what is going to come out of that are natural poses. If you start dancing and all of a sudden you hear the clicks, you're just going to start like moving yourself around. You're going to start stopping a little bit more. You're going to start pausing on the beats. And those pictures that come out of that, I promise you, I've taken so many, is it dancing or is it a pose pictures, and they're stunning. It gets you to start twirling around. It gets you to put movement in the pictures. Nothing is more boring than a guy or a girl standing in front of the camera and they're just like, it's boring. We want to see big. We want to see delightful. We want to see all of that. Number 7, and this is also a big one for anyone just starting out, because this is the one I banked on more often than not, wearing sunglasses. I cannot tell you what it is about wearing sunglasses that makes you feel more confident, but it definitely does. I think the reason for that is because you don't have to look at anything in particular. You could be looking this way and looking down because you don't feel super confident, but maybe to a camera it looks like you're looking off this way. Maybe you're looking into the camera. You can't really tell with sunglasses. Especially what I noticed a lot with my first round of pictures that I went back and looked at, more often than not, I'm looking down in the picture. I felt so awkward that I just could not look at the camera. Now this is not to say you can't take pictures looking down sometimes. It could be a little bit mysterious, a little bit flirty. But if you're not confident enough to get in front of the camera and maybe you just want to hide yourself just a little bit, wearing sunglasses definitely helps. And now with COVID time, wearing masks on top of wearing sunglasses could make you feel a little bit more confident because of the fact that you are shielding yourself just a little bit more. I will say that sometimes when I'm wearing a mask out in public and I want to take pictures, I feel so thankful because I'm like, yes, I don't have to do that much with my face now. So for me, I kind of use it as an excuse not to like have to do makeup. I don't have to put on the best smile. I don't have to do a smirk or anything. I can just like take a cute picture and then it's done. So for me personally, when I wear sunglasses or a mask now in a picture, I love that because it's such a relief, because then I'm like, yes, I don't have to do that much with my face now. And last but certainly not least, because this is how I got my start, and it's get yourself an alcoholic beverage if you're over the age of 21. I cannot tell you what kind of stress relief there is in getting in front of the camera when you've had a few beverages. You're naturally more confident. You're naturally more loose in the shoulders. And your eyebrows and your face kind of loosen up too, so you're not like scrunched like this. You're like, ah, yes, me? Pictures? Okay. So that one really is a last resort, but the pictures that come out of it, I guarantee, are gonna be super natural because you're already gonna be in the state of like, yay! Hopefully these 8 tips have helped you out, and if they've helped you, maybe they can help a friend, so remember to share it with a friend. You can also read more details about these tips in my blog, and I will link it below. Other than that, remember to check out my Instagram if you want to get your own little library going of posing references that you want to save for yourself. And other than that, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you all next time. Woo!